Joe, that's as good of a play as I'm sure you've seen here at Cal Poly when the alley-oop to Lewis brought you within two, but then they had momentum from there. What happened in that?
Well, I think it's got to be a bigger statement, and that was a good play from us. I think that's the best team we've seen in the Big West since I've been here for a year and a half. Their overall quickness, their overall defense, their aggressiveness, their ability to finish. They're a hungry team. They came into Santa Barbara, buzzsawed Santa Barbara, the conference favorite, and they came in here and buzzsawed us tonight as well. So we had a very competitive first 18 minutes, and what give that team so much credit for is that we let our guard down. I think we lost our focus for 2 minutes at the end of the half there. They went on a 9-0 run and really smelt blood in the water, and that's a hungry team. It's a team that missed an opportunity to make the NCAA tournament last year and is hungry to get that spot this year with the talent they have. We're all returning. And so you can't blink. And I thought that we lacked one of the things that we have been developing lately in his ability to focus the full 40 minutes. And we had some foolish errors in the last 2 minutes that really hurt us and gave them energy. We have to really control the ball, and we need to be able to beat a team like Long Beach State. We have to shoot a high percentage so that they take the ball out of the net. When we shoot quickly and don't shoot a high percentage shot and finish some of those, shoot to such a low percentage that we had, they're going to get those runouts and they get the fast break going. It's harder fast break on made hoops. I think that the key is that for us.
When you kind of just look at things, as honest as you can be with us, do you have to be perfect to beat a team like that?
No, we don't have to be perfect. We're in the hunt with UCLA. We're in the hunt with San Diego State. We're in the hunt with Cal, and we beat a good Pepperdine team down there. You just have to. You have to. I mean, when David Hansen goes 6 for 10, that's not a perfect night. That's just making some baskets, and then when you go, the first half we were 0 for. David was 0 for 5 from the 3-point line, and Sean was 0 for 3. And as a team, we were 0 for 9 from the 3-point line. Well, you don't have to be perfect, 9 for 9 from the 3-point line, but you do need to be 3 for 9. And 3 for 9 is an extra 9 points. Now it's a 2-point game, or at half, and maybe they're not running out on a couple of those. So much of our offense and offensive scoring and field goal shooting percentage controls what we do back on the defensive end. So I don't have to be perfect, but we need to be a lot better from the field than we were, and then that gives us some energy defensively as well. So I think we lost our energy in the second half defensively. We tried to sub and find some new guys to give us some energy, and basically we're trying to find some kind of combination to get a spark in the second half.
Offensively, I mean, are you getting the shots? I mean, the numbers aren't good, but are you getting the shots that you want?
Well, you saw the game. I think that the most first part of offense is taking care of the basketball. And you look at our numbers, we had 7 fewer turnovers than our opponent. So and then you look at where from the shot chart where they're coming from, and we had 19 3-pointers with four made, 2 of those down the stretch. I think that probably we were hurried on 3 or 4 of those, and I think that we had 4 or 5 point blank layups and shots that rolled out, and they contested them. They're quick and they're long, and they contested, and you've got to be able to finish a couple of those, and it's kind of a momentum deal. When you make one of them, the next one's a little easier, and it comes that way. And consequently, you miss one of them, once gets blocked, you don't get a foul call or something like that, and you hang your head a little bit, and you get a little more hesitant that you missed the last one. If anybody golfs, you miss a 6-foot putt, the next 6-foot putt's not as easy. And I think a lot of that has to do with basketball. You miss a 6-foot shot, the next one's not as easy. You miss a 3-point shot, the next one's not as easy. And the other night we got basically the same type of shots, and we got to be able to finish that. So it's been our Achilles heel for the entire preseason, and now going into this, and it's something we just got to keep grinding it out and getting those touches and keep on developing the confidence, offensive confidence to finish those plays.
Coach, it looked like you were playing solid on defense early on, and then the shots started to, not go in. Is it a little bit disheartening for a team to continue to play solid defense when you're not hitting shots? Yeah,
I think it's a little disheartening, and I think that's something we got to be able to respond to. We got to be able to respond to that. I thought we've done a pretty good job this year of letting the defense be our identity. The defense and rebounding will keep us in there, and tonight, when we weren't able to make a shot or two, and we had a little drought there, we allowed them to get those runouts. And I thought that was the worst part of the night for us defensively was transition D. And that started with the disappointment that we felt maybe when we missed the shot. And it was kind of, could have had that. And, I think we probably needed a conference game to get the competitive and organized juices going again from the Christmas break, I worried about that a lot, about having 7 days off, 8 days. We didn't have 7 days without practice, but since the last time we played, you've got to get your body jump-started again. And so now it's really critical for us to try to get back up on the road and play a full. We have no chance on the road without playing a full focused 40 minutes. And not to play perfect basketball. We just can't have 2 and 3 minute, catastrophic breakdowns where they go on 9-0, 10-0, 11-0 runs and try and dig out of it from that rest of that point.
You look at a team like Long Beach State, and they kind of went through their own little gauntlet like you guys did. They played at Chapel Hill, I believe at Arizona State, a couple of other
University of Washington.
Some strong, tough teams, and they lose those games, and they come in with a pedestrian record, and on the outside, people are going to think, well, these are just a couple of teams here. But really, when you look at who they played, this is a good team. What do you see in this Long Beach State team, and what did you think before the game started? Well,
with scouting, we're able to not just look at those scores. We're able to get the videotapes, and half those games are on television. Mm-hmm. These are live coverage games. And we're looking at a team that played North Carolina to 2 points with a minute to go. Similar to us in that competition, it kind of keeps on building you up. If you can schedule that difficult and then throw it out the door and say, look, it's a new season, it's a new focus, and they really did that at Santa Barbara. They just did what they did to us in the second half, where they had that energy, that length, that athleticism, that aggression. But what they really showed me tonight was the hunger that they had to finish those plays off. And last year they were a little more immature in their approach to the game. I mean, there were a lot of sophomores, so there's a lot of inconsistencies. So again, one night, good game, they kind of. Now I think they went through that preseason and they were really challenged, and then they had Anderson kid gone, and they had Anderson back, and I just have he's just such a glue for them. He ends up with 11 points, 2 assists, 3 steals, 6 rebounds, and I think he's the glue. We know how good Casper Ware is, our point guard, and we know T.J. Robinson's a double-double machine, and he goes for his 22 points and 9 rebounds. One off his double-double activity. We know Greg, Plater kid is a 3-point shooter, and of course he took 6 3-pointers and made 2 of them, and a couple free throws. I think Anderson's the key to that team, and that's what we saw in film against Santa Barbara. How critical he is. So it's just a very good team with 5 good players at every one of those positions. And so for us to beat them, we need to play an A-minus game, an A game, and we need to shoot the ball very well so that our defense gets set every time. We can't allow long shots, long rebounds, and out to the races and try to catch them in transition. You saw the shots they were able to score in transition. It's very, very, very. Give them credit. Some of the shots are very tough. Very tough shots to make, and they're moving and they're using the glass, and a very good team.
I have to ask you, it's probably becoming a broken record. Another injury, Chris O'Brien.
Yeah.
At the end of the game, I'm sure it just happened a few minutes ago, right towards the end of the game. But have you given any thought to if he misses any period of time, who would play in his place?
Well, unfortunately, I would feel right now that he's going to be missing some time. He said he did hear a couple cracks in it. It was much more than a tweaked ankle. Mm-hmm. Players know when they just tweak it, they roll it over, and they're going to be okay in 5 to 7 days. It might a little swelling, and they might be there. So it could be more severe than that, and I haven't thought that much about it right now. Obviously we've been blasted by injuries throughout the year. We did just get Ben Eisenhart back from his infection, and got him 3 minutes, but he's nowhere near game shape or physically ready to be more than a 2 or 3 minute spot player for a couple more weeks. So it's something we're gonna have to look at, whether we go with Jordan Lewis or whether we bring Ben Kelly in, or we play move Malik Love to the 2 spot. And Jamal Johnson played the point for us tonight and did a really good job. We're trying to look for somebody to give us a spark, and Jamal stepped up and knocked down a couple threes for us and made some drives for us. So maybe playing Jamal, Malik, and getting those freshmen more experience and might be the answer as well if he's unable to go.
I was going to ask about Jamal next. He seemed like the one guy today that kind of had it going throughout. I mean, he never really had a dull or a down spot in the game. What did you see out there from him? I mean, he's also a true freshman, and both he and Malik are getting some huge experience against some quality teams. Well,
what I liked about Jamal's game tonight is what you mentioned, was that he had a very good emotional energy to us. You know, it sounds like, what am I, Phil Jackson here talking about that stuff. But basketball has a lot to do with energy, and it has a lot to do with, do you believe you're going to make those plays? And I thought he came out with a good confidence level that said, hey, I got to step up here and knock that. Hey, I'm open. This is my shot. Opportunity to take it. And we've kind of felt like he's been a little too heady and maybe not as aggressive and confident as we needed him to be this year. But he sure answered the bell tonight, and maybe without him, it could have been a 25 or 30-point blasting out there. But at least he competed down the stretch there, made some shots for us, made some plays, and something as a positive, trying to take away from the game. There's one of them. I think that was a positive to see a freshman come in there and be a catalyst of some kind of sustained offensive production. I mean, he actually came off the bench, and in 16 minutes was our second leading scorer. And that's hard. Sean Lewis, to keep him at 7 points. And Sean struggled from the perimeter and never was able to drain a 3-pointer. I think he was 0 for 6 tonight from the 3-point line. So we got to have much better shooting nights from our 2 perimeter guys, and David and Sean, for us to be productive. But positive note, getting Jamal to knock a couple shots down for us.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Coach.
Guys,
Thanks,
Coach.